Thank you for visiting splurge.com, SPLURJJ.com. And I'm Sharif Dyson, and I'm here to ask you, what do you want? So the question is, what do you really want? I'm not asking you, what is it that you want as far as where you want to work at, what kind of car you want to drive, where do you choose to live? I'm not asking you those things. Let's X those things out. What I'm asking you is, what do you want? I know one morning I woke up and I wanted to be infectious to people, but most people lie to themselves about how they're going to get the things out of life that it is that they want. They lie to themselves. They tell themselves that they're working hard enough to live in the mountains, to live, in a loft, in the condos. They tell themselves that they lie to themselves because it makes them feel better. Then you got about 5% that actually work hard to get these things because they sacrifice. They sacrifice sleep. They sacrifice eating. They sacrifice the pressure, the stress that people put on you when you go out and you go after these things, because the people here, they don't see it as something positive when you quit your job. They see it as a stress that you're adding onto your household. They see it as a stress that you're adding into their lives. But you have to get out of that mindset. You have to tell people that it has nothing to do with you. It has something to do with me. Nothing to do with you. And you have to let them know that it's all about yourself. It's all about you right now. It's not about them. It's not about their needs and what they want. It's about what you want in your life. And in order to bring this into your life and to deliver this to yourself, you have to be positive and you have to put yourself around people that want the same things. So that's why I ask you, what is it that you want for yourself? What do you want to do? And I don't mean by, like I told you, I don't mean by where do you want to work? That's not what I'm asking you. What do you want to do with your life? Do you want to see people smile? Do you want people to be happy around you? Or are you okay with the madness and the chaos and the stuff that's going on in this world right now? Or do you want to change things? And in order to change things, you have to change. You have to revamp yourself and start changing the way that you think, your thought process. Change the way that you think. Learn to sacrifice. Learn to be addicted to sacrifice. But if you're never addicted to sacrifice and you're addicted to alcohol and you're addicted to drugs and you're addicted to sex and you're addicted to everything out here that this world pours down on you, and God tells you don't get caught up in worldly ways, and you're continuously addicted and it's affecting you, and it's infecting you in the way that you think, then guess what? You'll never get there. Those desires and the things that you want, you'll never see them. And I'm sorry to tell you, but you'll never have it. And I'm not being negative. I'm just telling you, you're being negative to yourself because you're not willing to sacrifice for better. You're willing to sacrifice to get worse. You're willing to sacrifice to hurt yourself, but you're not willing to sacrifice to get better, to get more out of life. What if I told you that what you do with your life is where you're going to end up in your life? In the Bible, it says, live by the sword, you'll die by the sword. So think about what you have yourself around right now. Think about the things that you're surrounding yourself with. And is that what you're living by? And that's what you're standing by? Because that's what you're going to end up standing for when you die. That's what your life is going to be about. And if your life is rough right now, it's because of the things that you're doing, the things that you're dedicating time to. It doesn't have anything to do with anybody else. It's not the law, it's not the government, it's not anybody else but you. You have to make a decision. Are you ready to change? Is it time for you to change? And that's what you have to ask yourself. Is it time for you to change? Because sometimes there's a time for everything. And right now, it may be the time that you need to change. You may need to change your thought process. Because in order to get the things that you want out of life, you have to change your thought process first. And then you have to go after these things. You'll never get there with just making them up. Write it down on a piece of paper. Start crossing out the goals that you need to do to achieve this dream or to achieve this goal. Start crossing out some of the other goals that you need in order to get there. But you'll never get there until you figure out what it is that you want to do. Not who you want to work for, not what kind of car you want to drive, not where you want to live, but what is it that you want to do with your life. How are you going to be infectious in this world? How are you going to change some of the lives in this world? Or is that the kind of person that you are? And if not, then I totally understand and you turn this video off, because this is a motivational video to help you become a better person, to grow, to get out of the same everyday routine that you've been stuck in year after year after year, feeling hopeless, feeling like you're worthless, feeling like you have nothing to live for. But you have everything to die for, but you have nothing to live for. You smoke cigarettes, you drink alcohol, you're out hanging out in the streets late. You don't want to change your life because you got everything to die for. You give all the reasons why you should die, but tell me 3 reasons why you should live. And when you come up with these 3 reasons and you get used to them and this becomes your everyday routine, you will begin to use your time wisely. You will begin to execute every goal that you set in front of yourself. You will begin to knock them down. It's called the domino effect. Once you knock one over, it'll continuously flow in that manner. But if the only thing on your mind is when the next club opens or who's coming into town, what concert to go to, guess what? They're living their life. They're doing exactly what it is they want to do. They're performing. But are you performing? Are you giving yourself a chance to be great? Or are you just settling, watching everybody else make it, and you'll never see it because you feel that you're 60 or you're 50 or you're 40, or whatever age that you are, you feel that it's too late. And like I told you in my other video, and like again, this is Sharif Dyson with Splurge.com, but like I told you in the other video, it's never too late. It's never too late. You can change, make the changes right now. From watching this video, you can make the changes right now, but it's up to you. It's totally up to you. It's up to you if you're ready to change. But what do you want to do? Let me ask you a true question here. Who's getting in the way of you being great? Again, I'm asking you, who's getting in the way of you being great? It's you. You're getting in your own way. You've been blocking your path for years now, and you've blamed everybody else, and I've never seen a finger that said you. It was your mother, your father, this man, this girl, the girl, whoever, your boss. It was everybody else except you. But you're the one that's getting in your way. Why don't you get out of your own way so that the way you can be great? Nobody else is in your way. There's no haters except you. You're the greatest hater in your life. You hate on yourself daily. You tell yourself how fat you are. You tell yourself that you don't make enough. You tell yourself you don't drive the best car. You tell yourself that you're not worth shit. You tell yourself that you're not going to get a good man. You tell yourself you're not going to get a good woman. You tell yourself all these things, these negative things. Your expectations are so goddamn low. It's a shame and embarrassing to hear you when you say it to yourself. I want you to realize you have everything inside of you that you need in order to be great. But you just got to turn that switch on. This is an energy road running through your body. You just got to turn the switch on. And it'll automatically come on and you will change the way that you see things as soon as you turn on the energy in that mind to change that thought process, the way you look at things. A lot of people look at the glass half empty instead of looking at it half full. They look at their lives as they wasted time instead of saying, now it's the time, or I've done all the things that got me here, so now I can grow from here. But they look at the negative instead of looking at the positive outlook on it. Are you doing that? Are you guilty of looking at yourself like that? You're embarrassed to change, to go back to school. You're embarrassed to start a business, the business that you always wanted to start that stayed in your mind since you was 5 years old? Because I'm not. I remember being in the fifth grade elementary class, and my teacher, Mr. Snellbacher, used to give out the USA Today. He would give out this paper every day, and I lived in New York at that time. You know, I grew up, born and raised, NYC. I grew up there, and I remember looking at the paper, and it was always sunny and hot in Arizona. It was always in the red. It just meant that it was hot, it was on fire. It was on fire, that's where I needed to be at. because in the East Coast it was always cold, shoveling snow, and I got tired of that and I wanted to shovel some sun. So I decided to dedicate my entire years of elementary, junior high school to getting out of the city, making a path for myself, making a way for myself. And did I come across some chaos? Yes, I did. But that's going to come with anything, whether you're doing right or wrong. There's going to be chaotic moments that you're going to deal with. But what's the sense in suffering? What's the sense in struggling? See, I'd rather struggle with a purpose and get there versus suffering, because that's struggling with no purpose. And that's what you're doing to yourself. You continue beating on yourself, telling you what you're not worth and how much you're not worth and what you'll never have. And stop it. I don't want to hear that no more. Say something new. Tell me something new that I haven't heard. I've heard all the people beat themselves down and say how much they're not worth and what they're not worth, and this person's doing better and that person's doing better. How about you? You keep focusing on everybody else except you. When you learn to focus on you, then you'll be great. But until that day, yeah, you're gonna feel the way that your expectations of yourself are very low. So you're gonna feel that way. You say, I want a small house, and guess what? You're gonna get a small house. You say, I just want a car to get me from A to B, and that's what you're gonna get. And see, when that car don't make it to C because you gotta travel 300 miles, that's an A to B. It only gets you 15 miles from your house. So when you need to go to C to travel to 300 miles, then that car clunks down, you blame the car. I blame you, I blame the person. It's not the car. The car gave you you got exactly what you wanted. The car did exactly what you needed it to do. You needed to get from A to B, and you got there. You couldn't get to C, you blame the car. You're mad. I blame you. I blame you for not having great expectations of yourself and telling yourself that you deserve more. But you're not on a rhythm. So guess what? There's no rhythm in your life. And that's what you have to do. You have to get this rhythm in your life where you start just blessing yourself. You deserve to be a champion. You deserve to be the best. You deserve to live in that big house that you wanted since you were young. You deserve to drive the car you want, and you also deserve to have that career that you want. But you'll never see it because you continuously have these small, meaningless expectations of yourself. No one's better than you. But you need to be better for you. Any game that I ever played and I didn't learn the rules of the game, I sucked at it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Any game that I ever played that I did not learn the rules to the game, you suck at it. I don't care if it's a game like checkers, chess, Monopoly, Uno. If you don't know the rules of the game, that's why you suck at the game. That's why you don't like it. That's why that person continues to beat you at the game that you can also play, but you don't put the time and effort in to learn the rules. It's the same thing in life, the game of life. You have to learn the rules to the game of life in order to be the best player in this game of life. But see, you won't learn the rules. You complain about the rules. And if you don't learn the rules, then I guess you fail, and I guess you suck at the game. See, but a person like myself, I learned this game. So the way I move, boom, okay, I can't move back. I can't jump your man backwards, but I can move forward. I can jump 3 of your man and king me, baby. That's what it's all about. But see, you don't want to learn the rules because it's too hard. It's a small sheet with tiny font, so you don't want to put the time in. You don't want to go get some glasses because it's your eyes that you need to blame that the words are too small. But the words are just right for somebody that has 20/20 vision, but because they're looking at it and they're focused, but you're not focused, so you blame the sheet of paper. Oh, this is too small for me to read. How about you go get some glasses so then that way you can learn the rules? And that's what I'm trying to tell you in your life. If you learn to focus better, if you learn to surround yourself with the right tools and utilize them in the proper way, you will grow. You will see better in life. But right now you can't see, so you don't learn the rules. So guess what? You suck at the game. You suck at the game of life because you're not willing to put in to learn the rules so you can play correctly. So you'll never win. You win here and there and you think that's winning. No, I'm talking about to be a champion, you need to win every day. Do you lose? Yeah, champions do lose. But in order to become a champion, you need to win a lot more than you're losing. And right now, my friend, you're losing a lot more in your life than you're gaining. I don't care where you're at, but you're losing. You're losing right now because you're not willing to invest time in to learn the rules, to read, to educate yourself, to give yourself the essential knowledge that you need in order to grow. And what doesn't grow dies. So my friend, you're dying right now and you don't want any better. And you want me to believe that it's everyone else. You just happen to be the only person that everybody else is on. Nobody wants you if you don't want you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nobody wants you if you don't want you. If you go in and you're dating somebody, whether you're a female or a man, you're dating the opposite sex, and you see them and they got their head down and they're down and they make you feel down, you don't want to be around that. Like attracts like. So if you go around this person and they're infectious with love and care and happiness and they're smiling, then you want to be around them. You become attracted to them. And it's the same thing in your life right now, that if you put these things around you, educate yourself, give yourself the knowledge that you need, the tools that you need, the background that you need in order to start a business or be great in your career or just be a better parent, you got to give yourself these tools. You don't have them. Kid you not, working hard isn't easy, but neither is being broke. Being broke or being broken isn't easy either. So you figure it out. You figure out what you're going to do and what you're going to settle for and what you're not going to settle for. And my friend, I tell you, stop settling. Push yourself. It's not that man, and it's not that lady, and it's not your boss, and it's not your mother, and it's not your father, and it's not your brothers, your cousins, your aunts, and your sisters, or whoever you want to say, your nanny. It's none of them. It's you. And until you start pushing, and valuing yourself a lot more, you'll never have what it is that you want in your life. You'll never do what it is that you want to do in your life because you don't even know what it is that you want to do. But change your thought process. Begin there. Again, this is Sharif Dyson with Splurge.com, SPLURJJ.com. Peace.